So I'd like to start today just with a call to retreat. So at the end of this month, August 25th through the 27th, we'll be having our next online retreat. And together we're going to join with this invitation to investigate the strength of Buddha nature. And so this path of spiritual awakening, it can be very difficult, very challenging, very confusing. But there's this beauty that happens when we come together on retreat. No longer is it you alone on the path, but we're together as a Sangha. We're together, under this umbrella of the Divine Mother. And so we gain in strength, we benefit in the strength of each other, we benefit in the strength of the Divine Mother. And retreats are always such a magical experience. Now, sometimes people with Kundalini have this question, well, or if we're having an intense spiritual awakening, we have this question, should I go on retreat? That might intensify things. But retreats are almost always, I like to have the mindset, retreats are almost always like giving birth. Pregnancy is hard, it can be difficult, but then boom, something wondrous comes, something incredible comes. And there's this sweet relief as the baby passes and comes out into the world. And so all of us, like we are pregnant with divinity. And with Kundalini, we're pregnant with all this energy, all this light, all this power. With the force of awakening, it's causing us, sometimes for all of our shadow parts to come forward, all of our fears to come forward. And on retreat, through the power of retreat, these things are broken and emptied. The dam breaks and something new and fresh comes. Like with a young girl who gives birth, after she gives birth, she's no longer a young girl. Now she is a mother. Now she's a mother. So she's no longer this young woman, she's a mother. And a mother is a transformed state of consciousness. It's this new way of being. And this is the beauty, this is the gift of retreat. And many of us were afraid. We're afraid of the energies of awakening. But we have to always remember, like, what's coming is good, what's coming is divine, what's coming is something much, much better, much greater. It's an evolutionary step. It's a leap into a greater consciousness. And so if you haven't signed up, I do hope you can join us. Okay. And so I'm going to invite everyone to shut down our eyes. And we're going to feel into our subtle energetic body. And just noticing, just gently inquiring. If I scan through the 7 chakra centers, how do I feel? What is my experience? And so as we scan through the centers, I want us to scan and just feel, just noticing 2 things. One, like, am I open and feeling divine and full of light, brilliance, beauty, or does this chakra center feel contracted? And then secondly, is there an emotional component or a human component? And that's kind of blocking or veiling the chakra center. So we'll start with the crown today. So feeling into your crown and just noticing, is my crown chakra, is it open and receptive to the grace of the divine? Is my crown chakra open and receptive? If it's not, like sometimes we'll just feel a numbness there, a deadness, a nothingness there. When this chakra is open, You feel as if your consciousness is merging with the sky, merging with heaven. You feel like dancing pins and needles and light on the top of your head. And again, we're spiritual beings, so we're choosing to open, choosing to be receptive. And sometimes we can lack trust there, and so this is an invitation just to play with being open. And so again, we can feel into the space of the third eye. We could descend a little bit. Just noticing, am I stuck in my egoic nature? Is the space of my mind relaxed, open? Again, feeling sky-like, spacious, peaceful. The third eye is really open. There's a great clarity and a sense of being carefree, carefree, expansive, peaceful. And for some of us, we might notice, oh, I'm attached to some of my thoughts. Like within the mind, there's a subtle pride that comes with a thinker thinking they are right. And sometimes the thinker is saying, I'm suffering, I'm wounded, I'm hurt, nobody loves me, I'm struggling, I'm doing this wrong. And there can be a pride, like a prideful attachment. And if that's you, just seeing if you can soften that and just notice, what is it like when I put down all that thinking and the attachment to thinking? An attachment to thinking is very subtle. When you begin to notice it, there's a righteousness in the mind that I am my thoughts. And as spiritual beings, as we feel into the subtle energetic nature of the third eye, we begin to notice, oh, I'm not my thoughts. I am stillness. I am spaciousness. I am the sky. This consciousness that I am is vast and spacious. And so feeling that. And I invite you just to feel your consciousness expanding and descending a little bit and beginning to include the throat chakra. And just noticing as you breathe in, if there's any congestion in the throat chakra, and as you exhale, just imagine just like a gentle broom, like a divine broom, sweeping away any congestion, any confusion, any judgment. For some of us with Kundalini, when we really open the throat, it's often there. Sometimes some kriyas flow, and that's okay. That's welcome. It's just energy. We're giving ourselves full permission just to flow, just to sway, letting energy dance its dance. Inviting the throat to be open and spacious as we descend down into the heart chakra. And again, just taking a deep breath, descending into the space of the heart. Just noticing if there's any tension around the heart, and just with an exhale, let's imagine just sweeping away any tension, any heaviness, any old thoughts or clinginess to former partners, lovers, husband, wives, whatever it is. Just gently sweeping it away, just trusting it's okay to fully let go in the heart and to be radically open. Breathing in and deepening in the heart. Feeling this radiant, loving receptivity in the space of the heart. And sweeping away any heaviness, letting go the front of the heart, the right side, behind the heart. Some of us, we can store a little bit of sadness behind the heart. If that's you, just imagining that it's okay to feel the sadness, to acknowledge it. It's okay to put it down like an old heavy backpack, just putting it down. And it's okay to let go of this. And the left side of the heart, softening and opening above the heart, below the heart, inviting the beauty, the innocence of your being to fully come online. Fully come online. So breathing, feeling, and softening. Inviting this heart to expand, to be open, to come into alignment with its true nature. It's love, compassion, gentle sense of joy, openness. Expanding throughout the chest, throughout the arms, the shoulders, the hands. Flowing up through the throat chakra, filling the space of the mind, pouring out the crown. Flowing down into the solar plexus. And so again, let us feel deeply into the solar plexus, the third chakra center, right below the heart. The rib cage comes together. Softening if there's any tension there. Just checking in, feeling into your solar plexus. Are you connected? Individual sense of will, of power, strength, uprightness, and nobility. And if there's anything else that's here that's heavy or dense, overly aggressive or fearful, again, we're softening. Just imagining almost like a divine broom just sweeping away any old heaviness, tenseness, agitation, any feeling of being a victim of life, lovingly breathing, sweeping. It's like we're opening the windows, letting fresh air flow through this center. Really softening throughout the spine, feeling the spine becoming more fluid, relaxed, peaceful, and at ease. And at the same time, the sense of erectness, uprightness, sense of strength and power shining throughout the solar plexus. So we're feeling down. This energy descends. Descends. Down through heart, the solar plexus, into the space of the hara, the hips. Just noticing here, is my hara open, relaxed, radiating power, strength, nobility, down in the lower belly. Or is there tightness? Is there tension here? And can I loosen up any tightness, any tension on the exhale? Inviting any tension to be swept away, to be released, to be emptied. Trusting that we don't need any primal fear in this moment. Trusting that it's okay to open and to be you fully. To be you fully. To be you fully. Strength is power. You may notice almost like a rumbling divinity awakening. Yes. Each and every breath. Breathing. Feeling. Opening. Opening. Yes. Each and every breath, feeling your power. Awakening throughout the spine. Throughout the spine. And again, just ascending a little bit further. To the root chakra, inviting the root to open, to melt, to merge into the strength, the power, the light of the earth. Of the earth. We're breathing, we're feeling, opening, feeling all 7 chakra centers being cleared out. Being cleared out. Being cleared out. And together, I'd like us to envision, this is something that the Jagar in the Sangha brought forward, this vision of Skanda standing before us, and Skanda sending his staff directly right down, thumping it down directly right through our spine, descending into the earth, and boom, fully awakening. Kundalini Shakti, fully clearing out any karmic debris. And in the background behind you, I invite you just to see, to envision a peacock whose feathers are blowing open, showing the beauty, the glory of the peacock. This divine spread of feathers, of brilliance, of beauty, as your heart fully awakens, as the crown fully awakens, as the belly fully awakens. Feeling the glory of God, the radiance of God, the radiance of your divinity flowing in you, through you, as you, as you, fully cleared out, fully open, fully radiant. And with this, the Kundalini energy flowing up from the earth, through the root chakra, through the hara, through the solar plexus, through the heart, through the throat chakra, through the space of the third eye, out the crown, creating a fountain of light. Fountain of light, pouring down all over you, flooding your home, flooding your community, flooding the Sangha with light, with love, with grace, with peace, with strength, with power, with majesty, with majesty. And so you can continue to breathe with your eyes closed, or if you like, you can open them. Like I teach often, it can be very helpful to have a little meditative practice that you do each day, just to kind of clear the energy centers. And so sometimes the subtle energetic body energy gets stuck, and it can be helpful. Kind of clear stuck energy, helping it to move, helping it to flow. There's this thing that we do out here in the West, especially in places where there's not much water, because we have all these teeny little irrigation canals. They're like maybe like this big, and where a farmer in the spring goes out with a shovel and kind of clears the debris out of the little irrigation channels so that the water can flow to the new crops that are coming. The water can flow to the new crops. And for us as human beings, like, we go out into the world and we pick things up, we take things on, we get in little fights, little disagreements, sometimes really big fights, disagreements with others. Sometimes we have this very silly and confused karmic tendencies. I was speaking with someone just the other day, and they had all these confused ideas about relationship, and my job was to point them out that, this is not going to work. It's not going to work to have these egoic views. And so we have to get out there and kind of clear the channels. You go see an acupuncturist, and you put these little needles in your body, and it helps open the meridians, getting the energy all flowing in the right direction. And so it can be helpful to have a clearing meditation that goes along with your deeper meditation practice that we do. And to practice this every day, just really clearing out the chakra centers, clearing out these centers. And so, like I was speaking about before, it's very common on the path that we have this question with Kundalini. Well, should I keep opening to this? This is really intense. And when it's really intense, almost always the body responds with resistance, responds with some form of, I need to control this, I need to stop this, I need to repress this. And sometimes it's not even, that doesn't even form into a thought. It's just happening in the background, subtle resistance. Many people tell me that they just distract all day long from the energy. And I want to be crystal clear. That is not the way. That's not the way to just continuously distract. We want to find a way of opening and working with this energy where we're befriending it. And for me, it can be so helpful just to have a proper attitude or model or vision or map. If we're Buddhists, like in Buddhism, they have all these maps of all these different realms of divinity, these realms of awakening, the maps of the different, worlds and the different, obscurations and this and that type of thing. With Kundalini, I like this very basic metaphor of being a pregnant mother. Pregnancy is uncomfortable, but we do not resist the pregnancy. We give way to growth. And then there is this moment of great relief. And through this moment, of great relief, we are forever transformed. And that's the gift of awakening. Now, before we've experienced the great relief and the transformation, the transfiguration, it doesn't feel like the gift of awakening. It feels like this is hard, this is intense, this is overwhelming. I can't handle this. And all those things are true. You, your egoic nature, cannot, will not handle it. It's not supposed to handle it. Your ego is not supposed to handle awakening. We are changed through the process of awakening. We are changed not through I can do this. We're changed by the magic of surrender, the gift of surrender. When we finally let go, the work happens in us, through us, as us. The transformation happens in us, through us, as us. It's not the little human ego doing it. It's our divinity waking up to itself and taking the steering wheel away from the small egoic controlling one. And so just like any mother, as she's giving birth, there's this moment when she just lets go. And in that moment, she surrenders to the contractions and the baby begins to come. The baby begins to come. Begins to come. Now, if you're an artist, there's a different metaphor that we work with. We may just be in our head thinking, what should I write? How do I write? How do I do this? How do I do that? Strategizing, planning, making outlines and all this. But then there's this thing that happens. Just out of nowhere, if we just surrender, the story begins to flow. It begins to flow. So we're giving way to the energy of the muse. We're giving way to this greater flow of divinity as it pours through us. As it pours through us. It's not a mental thing. And if any good writer, if you ask them, is it a mental thing? They say, no, this is not a mental thing. The sitting and becoming quiet without resistance. And then this great awakening begins to flow in an effortless way. In an effortless way. And so we're going to continue to play with this, and I'm going to continue to invite you all to deepen on this path, to join on retreat, to really be a part of this big thing which is happening. This big thing which is happening in each of you. God chose you to wake up in you. And so we're saying, okay, I'm going to be a part of this. I'm going to let go of any and all resistance. I'm going to open and trust in the will, the intelligence of the divine, knowing that something great is awakening within each of us. And so